Hello everyone, this video is about Model Context Protocol, the Python SDK. So the MCP Python SDK 1.4.0 released about 2 hours ago. And the reason I wanted to make this video was because I found something interesting. I was reading the notes on GitHub, looking at some of the issues. One of them from, 16 hours ago, create client websocket.py. And if you are aware, MCP uses either std.io, so standard input output, or SSE, which is server sent events. But with WebSockets, that then gives you the future possibility of running MCP servers over a network, and I think that's where this is going. So I do this almost for the bedevilment of it, but I keep asking ChatGPT about MCP, and ChatGPT thinks it's Minecraft protocol, and Claude thinks it's I forget what it's, machine conversation protocol. Claude, you should know better. You should, have they not trained it yet? The code appears to be implementing a WebSocket-based transport layer for machine MCP. So they've written a load of tests. It's analyzing the code. The code, if you want to see it, is on GitHub, and all the green stuff is the extra that they've added. WebSocket client transport for MCP, symmetrical to the server version. So create two in-memory streams, one for incoming messages, one for outgoing messages. Still using JSON RPC is the format. And then if you start looking at this MCP a lot, you'll soon get very familiar with async with, which is like a context, so it cleans up after itself. And then within the async with, you'll have async. You'll actually have async that's doing something. So that's almost like a sort of a manager, and then inside is the worker. So let's just consider what Claude is saying about this. So this code strongly suggests that, let me just zoom in on this, network-based MCP rather than local std.io-based communication is being developed. Here's why. I mean, we know it is being developed, but I just think this is probably meaning that it's quite close, I would say. The code explicitly creates WebSocket-based communication channels between client and server, moving beyond local process communication. So, network infrastructure. The tests create actual network sockets, bind to ports, and establish true network connections. So, 3. Distributed architecture. The separation between client and server over network transport would enable MCP to work across different machines or processes. And then timeout handling, error handling. So this represents a significant evolution for MCP, as it would allow communication between processes on different machines, web-based clients to interact with MCP servers. More distributed architectures for AI systems using MCP, integration with existing web infrastructure. The careful testing of connection establishment, request response cycles, error handling, and timeout recovery suggests that this is being developed as a production-ready feature rather than just an experiment. So this is quite significant, and yeah, go to pypy.org, project MCP. Stars. It's worth keeping a note on the stars to see how popular this is becoming. I know there's some kind of a fight between Python and TypeScript for sort of supremacy with MCP. So MCP allows applications to provide context for LLMs in a standardized way. I've done 3 other videos now. One was about the SDK, one was about resources, and yeah, I forget the other one, but it's all very similar. The inspector, I looked at the MCP inspector. That's a really useful tool. So yeah, there we go. I just wanted to point this out. It's for anybody who's kind of critical of MCP. I think this may rebuke some of those criticisms. So yeah, it's a fledgling protocol. When when you think how long it took for TCP or HTTP to become mature, I think this is a really promising start, and it's useful already. And yeah, there's a lot of good things to say about MCP. So yeah, don't be shy and get stuck in. Hopefully, it's been interesting, and this is just alerted you to the fact that MCP sooner or later will be fully sort of supported working over the network. So you'd have, rather than have your model on the same computer as your Cloud desktop or your own client, whether that's Cursor, Goose. Goose is quite a good project if you look at Goose. So if you're not using any of those, or you could write your own. And yeah, rather than having the models, for instance, if you're using SQLite or Postgres or whatever from the Docker version, rather than having those Docker images running on your clients, you could have those running on a server somewhere. So yeah, I mean, there's a trade-off between slowing your machine down and network latency, but I don't think a few 100 milliseconds of network or 10 milliseconds of network latency is going to really harm the user experience. Plus, it's going to make you keep your machine nice and lean anyway, because you don't want loads and loads of Docker images running on your machine, which was one of my, using an older Linux machine, that was one of my criticisms with MCP, was I was getting all these Docker images and Docker containers. And yeah, so MCP 1.4 out today. Thanks for watching, and thumbs up, subscribe, and yeah, be more MCP and Python related content very soon.